Reports some time ago suggested that Dr. Chu and Dr. Cheng could sue the Government of Canada. So my first question is, can you confirm that there are no legal proceedings that have been initiated by either Drs. Chu or Cheng against the Government of Canada?
I'm in a position to confirm that they had filed a complaint with the National Security and Intelligence Review Agency with regard to the suspension of their clearances.
Okay, and that's the extent of any proceedings that they have initiated, to your knowledge?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay, thank you. One of the things we're trying to understand at the committee is why it took 10 months for the lab to be secured, 10 months between the discovery of a patent improperly registered in the People's Republic of China and July 5th of 2019 when the two scientists were escorted out of the lab. And so my questions are framed in that light to try to understand why it took 10 months. So my first question is, when did the Minister of Health and her office first become aware of the national security breaches at the lab?
My understanding is that the Minister of Health was briefed at different junctures in the investigation to be informed of decisions that were being taken by the deputy head of the agency in line with the administrative investigations. For example, in June 2019 on the results of the fact-finding investigation, in August 2020 on the suspension of the employees, and in January 2021 on their firing.
Was the minister's office or the minister made aware before June of 2019?
My understanding is that they were briefed periodically. I don't have specific dates.
Okay. Could you get back to the committee and let us know when the minister and her office were first made aware of this this issue at the lab?
Yes, we will look back at the records.
Thank you. And, when did the president of the agency, your predecessor, first become aware of these national security breaches at the lab?
My understanding is that the initial briefings led to some identification by the security branch of the health portfolio, and that the opening of the fact-finding investigation was subsequently authorized. I don't have the specific date that the president would have been briefed on this, but the security branch did launch with the president of the agency that fact-finding investigation in December 2018.
Okay. I mean, the reason I asked this, Madam Jeffrey, is that the role of the president, the responsibilities of the president, the authorities of the president are to grant security clearances and to oversee the classification of employees and the access of those employees to the lab. So I think if you could let us know at some, after, if you could let us know, let the clerk of the committee know when the president first became aware of these breaches, because it's material to that that person's responsibility to ensure that security clearances are appropriate at the lab. The president of PIAC exited her role as president of PIAC on February 27th, 2019. A new deputy head was not appointed until May 6th of that year. So there was a period of about 10 weeks in which there was no president of PIAC. So my first question is, was there an interim or acting president of PIAC during that period from the end of February to the beginning of May of 2019?
Yes, as is normal, an interim president would be appointed with delegation during that period.
And who was that? What was that role? Was it an ADM or was it a director general? Like what? Who was the acting president during that period?
The acting president during that period was the chief public health officer.
Chief public health officer. And did that person, the chief public health officer, did she have the delegated authority over security clearances for the lab?
The policy on delegation resides with the deputy head. However, the approval of individual clearances is delegated to the chief security officer of the agency.
Okay, and so that wasn't, the delegation to the chief security officer wasn't just for that interregnum period. It's generally delegated at all times.
Yes, given the volume and size of the agency, the sort of day-to-day decision-making on security clearances resides with the chief security officer.
Okay. And when did the chief security officer first become aware of the national security issues at the lab?
So my understanding is that in August of 2018, subsequent to a briefing that was given for general awareness by the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, that the potential concerns regarding the vulnerability of lab employees to potential influence were flagged to the service, and fact-finding began, and that in September, potential issues began to be identified, and the chief security officer was involved in those discussions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to Mr. Francosantos for 6 minutes.
Thank you, Chair.